Society expects your husband to cheat. Men have needs, you see. They're prone to urges, which a society views as natural, almost charming. Any signs of passion or desire in a woman are viewed as suspicious, even shameful.
Because a lot of women think men gonna cheat anyway, so it's just like, hey, you know, I'd rather be crying in my own house, with my own kids, with my own car, with my own bills, rather than being with a man who's just gonna cheat on me anyway. So they rather just either play the side chick, or either they just rather be on their own and be a single mama, or just be single in general, you know. So here we have women that are no longer scared or ashamed of being a side chick. I mean, if you the side chick, it's cool, but you know, like you coming out on the internet saying you a side chick, that's when it's like, I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying, where's the humility at? Where's the, you know what I'm saying, the shamefulness or whatever? But let's gonna get straight into the video, see what's going on.
Why would you take your phone that you paid for and let the whole world know that you a side chick?
I'm a side chick. Of course I don't want your man to myself. I don't want to be the first dumb in line.
I don't think I have the mind capacity to be the only girlfriend. I need to make sure I'm in charge of scheduling you out to these other women.
Could you share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted?
I share these men for less because they gonna go cheat anyway.
Being the other woman has never really been a new phenomenon. It just looks a little different today. Back in the early days, women were reminded to be composed and have top-notch etiquette, while men were simply reminded that they were men.
From infancy on, we all learn from our parents, our peers, and our society that there's a difference in what is acceptable or correct behavior for a man and for a woman.
A girl is a girl. She's taught that these are the things that a girl does. She walks a certain way, she talks a certain way, she looks a certain way. And the same thing with a fella. He's taught that these are the things that a fella should do. He should walk a certain way and look manly and walk manly and talk manly.
Those gender roles that society placed on men and women also shaped what each of them could get away with. And yes, those expectations followed them in the bedroom.
Society expects your husband to cheat. Men have needs, you see. They're prone to urges, which a society views as natural, almost charming. Any signs of passion or desire in a woman are viewed as suspicious, even shameful. So when your husband seeks pleasure elsewhere, an actress, a barmaid, a brothel, it's shrugged off. Boys will be boys.
Society tolerated male.
But I will also agree that, you know, back then, cheating was normalized, you know? Like, today, women can work, women can choose to, you know what? Should I sit here and let a man take care of me, making minimum wage, or middle class, or possibly rich? Because, you know, stuff like that still happen. It happens. You know, like it's more widely accepted when you're rich. Now that women have a lot more rights and stuff like that, you know, a lot more rights, can do a lot more stuff, can vote and do all this other type of stuff. It's like, let a man take care of me, stay home, take care of the kids. Let him possibly cheat on me, or if he or just let him cheat on me, but I stay because I want to take care of the family. Or it's 2026. You know what? I can work my own job. I can have my own car. I can have my own place. You know, possibly if you want to be a single mother. You know what I'm saying? Because some women are taking that route too. You know, getting a seed donation. I can do all that on my own. Because a lot of women think men gonna cheat anyway. So it's just like, hey, you know, I'd rather be crying in my own house, with my own kids, with my own car, with my own bills, rather than being with a man who's just gonna cheat on me anyway. So they rather just either play the side chick, or either they just rather be on their own and be a single mama, or just be single in general, you know.
Promiscuity as a necessary evil. He's a man with urges and instinct. And on the other hand, the woman that he was hiding from the world, or his wife, she was the one that ended up facing the shame and embarrassment for all parties involved.
I beg your pardon. I am Mrs. Stephen Haynes. Sorry, but I don't think I know you. I believe it's my husband you know. Oh. So Steven's told you.
Being the other woman or the woman he only sees on the weekend, that came with a type of shame you wouldn't dare tell the world. But today, oh today, women are turning that very position into a trend. In today's video, we're gonna look at how a situation most women only discussed in a locked diary is now an all eyes on humiliation ritual. Welcome to the Girl Talk you didn't know you needed. Now, I'm not saying you have to subscribe. You're classy. I know you don't just give those away for free, but hopefully at the end of this video, we become besties.
Man, make sure y'all subscribe to my video, man. I'm gonna give y'all the best takes, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get
enough for you to take that next step. When it came to affairs or situationships as we call them today, back in the day, what made them different weren't the actions. No, we all know those will always be the same. It was the silence.
So it seems the digital age has made it easier for us to cheat. But there's one group of guys who have always found it pretty easy.
Men in positions of power seeking sex outside their primary relationship is something as old as time.
But for almost 100 years, their indiscretions were kept secret, protected by one hell of a bro code.
A lot of men who stepped outside their marriage or had multiple women were mainly men in power who suffered a lot less consequences than the woman they were keeping secret. And in many,
like I said, I ain't even see this video, but like I said, it's the power dynamics, you know? You could be getting cheated on by somebody poor, middle class, or rich, you know? Like, it just really depends on what you want to choose. But if you get cheated on by a poor man, it's your L, girl. You just took the L. Ain't nothing more I can say after that.
Of those cases, turning a blind eye was something that was hoped to be a part of the agreement.
Camilla was a married woman, having an affair with the Prince of Wales. As it turned out, her husband had no problem with her affair with Charles, because he was also seeing women outside his relationship with Camilla. Charles was still in love with Camilla and had hoped that Diana was someone who would turn a blind eye to their clandestine relationship.
If you were the side chick, you had to stay quiet. If you were the wife, you had to stay quiet by sitting back and accepting it. Even if you were the cheater and your private actions became public, you had to claim you were mentally insane just to protect everything attached to your name.
Charlie, you're not the father of the child. Oh, Charlie, I've been very wicked. I have done very wrong.
When Sir Thomas, her father, went to see his daughter, he went straight upstairs and saw his daughter, came downstairs and said, "Poor thing, she's mad." They began to realize that this was the scheme, that if she could be proved to be mad, then she would never be able to stand up in a divorce court and give evidence.
Harriet's father had determined to sacrifice his daughter for the sake of family honor by instructing her to feign madness.
Now, as we're looking at all these affairs from the past, I want to quickly say that we're not romanticizing or reminiscing them. It's going to show you just how far we've come today.
But it's like some women try to make it make sense. You ready to cry over a man that cheated on you, and you ready to cry in his Bentley, his mansion, his pockets over me. They got $1 million, and you choose to stay, and it's 2026. Versus being the person that's crying in a 2004 Honda, that's crying in a $600 apartment, which ain't nothing wrong with that. A $600 apartment, and then as soon as you go back in there, you broke as hell because you still can't afford next month rent. I gotta hit it 3 times. So it's like it's your choice. You know, like now I'm not saying that, you know, like it's the right choice. But, you know, if you rather cry in a Bentley, you rather cry in a Bentley. If your life goals is to be stable and have a stable family, even though your man might cheat on you, go for the Bentley. If you just want happiness, which a lot of women seek happiness, and you think you'll be more satisfied in a 2004 Honda Accord, you know, you could be happy with that. You could be happy with a family with a man who don't cheat. So it's always your choice. You ready to cry in the Bentley, or you ready to cry in the 2004 Honda and you getting cheated on, you know? But I'm not saying choose, but because it's men like me out here that don't cheat. But, you know, but if you're going to pick a cheater, pick the right one. That's all I'm saying.
Because back then, it was the things that no one dared to talk about that tore lives apart. But today, it can be small, annoying things that can literally throw your whole week off. As the decades moved along and the culture started shifting, these situations were no longer something people had to whisper about. They stopped being something that could risk you and your entire bloodline's reputation. Affairs and hidden relationships started showing up more openly in movies and television, and not just as scandals, but in my opinion, I feel like they started to become romanticized.
Hollywood wants you to cheat so bad, and it's kind of messed up. Have you ever noticed how many movies, especially romantic ones, just sneak infidelity into the plot like it's totally fine? Like, oh yeah, I know they're engaged or in a committed relationship, but have you seen the chemistry with this other person?
Cheating in real life isn't a joke, and it really bothers me when TV and movie writers romanticize cheating. Because first of all, we cannot ignore how much influence media has on our perspective about life. So when these cheating scenes are added for effect or just for drama, it is actually not funny.
So now that cheating and being the hidden lover is a bit more modern and quirky,
so it's okay that I kind of cheated on him?
With whom? Well, he was a guy from work, and it was nothing. You know me, it was just sex.
it's also become braggable to be kept secret or to be with someone when you know you shouldn't.
I'm a side chick. Of course I knew that man was married before I started dealing with him. I'm a side chick. Of course I sent him back home to be unhappily happy so he could come back to me and be. I'm a side chick. Of course I'm the authorized user on a credit card that you have no idea about. I'm a side chick. Of course I don't work because our husband pays all the bills.
I knew, and y'all may think I'm reaching and that's okay, but I knew when SZA came out with that song. That's when the conversation started changing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's The Weeknd by SZA, where she casually admits that she's not the main woman, she's the one he sees only on the weekends. Put the pieces together as you will.
What I'm actually saying in the song is my man is your man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all share the same dude, saying that I'm aware, I don't care. I'm not trying to, like, I don't need to be his girl. Like, it's not even saying that you're his girl, saying that none of us are his girl. All of us are just out here trying to get different things for different reasons. And my particular reason is just get here and do what you said you was gonna do. I think it's like taking the power back, because it's like women just are supposed to do something but like cry and feel weird and like, oh my God, like I don't have.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Taking the power back, but you're ruining a family. Like, how does that make sense? But this is the part that I'm saying, right? A woman would sit here and say, oh, I want to go outside and wear like a fishnet, or I want to wear like a shirt that shows my titties and it's like see-through and I don't have no pasties on, and I just want to take the power back because in the 1950s, in which I was not fucking born in the first place, in the 1950s, women couldn't do that, and women was so oppressed. Bitch, you wasn't even born. You're 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, however much. You're 25. How the fuck is you taking the power back? Now, but if you want to do that, it's okay. You going to a club. I don't care. Or, you know, some people be doing that shit randomly or whatever. You want to do you, I don't care. I'm not gonna be one of them guys. Sit there, put a shirt on. I just don't care about that. I just don't care. But it's just ironic how we could call that woman empowerment just by showing your titties or being more provocative. Or, in SZA's case, you know what? Let me get a married man to cheat on his wife, because back then it was shameful for a woman to, you know, ruin a family or to be a side chick or to have that title or that name on you, you know? Because it was shameful to ruin someone else's family, and it's still shameful now. And it should be shameful now. But, you know, like I said, like, it's the same thing. Like, that's one of the things that I will not agree with. You know, you want to call empowerment showing your titties or coochie or whatever, stuff like that. You want to do that? You can do whatever you want to. I don't care about that. And I think being a side chick, you ruin somebody else's family. is the worst thing, you know? Like, if you want to be a side chick, you want to be a side chick to somebody's boyfriend, you know, all right, go do that. Because then the woman can just choose to walk away. But when she got a family, it's harder, you know? It's harder for her to walk away, especially if that man have the most power in their dynamic. You know, he's paying the bills. He bought her the car, even though he might be rich or he middle class or whatever. He have majority of the power. And then the last little bit is she feeling like she can't go away or move away, or she can't leave, or she can't take the child, because if she leave or whatever, he's making majority of the money. And then she got to stay because she got to stay even more when she getting cheated on. I mean, she feeling even worse when she's getting cheated on. You know, like, you already feel powerless inside your relationship, and then you gonna throw fire on it by having a side chick, which make it even worse. And, you know, like, I don't have no problem with a man take care of the bills and all that type of stuff. I just don't agree with either, you know, you being a bad human being to your wife that you chose to marry, and also having a side chick on the side. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, like, I don't know. You're just a bad human being at this point. You need to go get some therapy, you know. Even in therapy, your girl still might leave your ass. I mean, and you still deserve it. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just, you know. But if y'all like this video right here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're going to leave it right here. Make sure you come to her channel. Side chicks are exposing themselves online, and it gets messy. Make sure you check out my latest video, and I'm out. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure you go check out my Twitch, and also watch my recent video, which will be right here. And make sure you hit the subscribe button right here. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.